Hi, I'm Margaret, and welcome to Garden School. Today I wanted to talk about two plants in the genus Gaultheria. One is Salal, Gaultheria shallon, and the other one is wintergreen, Gaultheria procumbens. Let's go take a look. I've got some wintergreen planted in this little bucket. And the bucket does have drainage. And here you see the wintergreen, the Gaultheria procumbens. This is a low-growing evergreen, and it's native to the eastern United States, eastern Canada. It is a pretty hardy plant, and you can see these beautiful little red berries. They start to set in, I think, about July. They develop from these beautiful little white urn-shaped flowers, like think a blueberry flower. It's in that Ericaceae family, so that's what you would you would be reminded of the blueberry flowers when you see these flowers. Now, the cool thing about this wintergreen, when you smash the berry and smell it, it smells like wintergreen. You know, it reminds me of elementary school paste, the white paste. You might have that memory of paste in elementary school. But Gaultheria procumbens, or wintergreen, can be a really nice ground cover. It's low growing, it's evergreen, and it's very hardy. It does not require a lot of moisture, although it can tolerate some. A nice addition to a container or to a landscape. Gaultheria procumbens. Here is some Gaultheria shallon, also known commonly as salal. Another name is Oregon winterberry, but I think if you ask for salal, this is what you're going to find. Now, florists value these leaves for arrangements, and brush pickers, they're called brush pickers, will go out to areas and harvest nice branches of this salal to sell to the floral industry. Now you notice the branches are pretty rigid and angled out, and it has a pretty resistant growth habit and can grow quite densely. In the shade, you might see it, 2 to 3 feet tall, but some places you can even find it to 6 feet tall. And you can see it's growing here with the sword ferns. It's undercover in mainly a Douglas fir area, but there's also some big leaf maples, kind of a mixed woods area. And in the spring, the salal will have little branchlets of white urn-shaped flowers. They look like blueberry flowers. It's in that same family. And then the fruit that develops is a black, almost black, very dark purple, purpley blue, almost black berry-like, which is actually the sepals, fleshy sepals, but we would call them berries. And they are edible. They seem to be a little bit gritty when I eat them, but they're edible. They were an important food source for the native peoples. In 1826, the explorer David Douglas arrived at the mouth of the Columbia River, and the first, says in his journal, the first plant that he put his hands on was the Gaultheria shallon, the salal. There must have been an abundance of it where he viewed it, and was probably very, very dense. Well, it's a beautiful, glossy evergreen plant, and can be really incorporated into a landscaping quite nicely, although it does not transfer very well from the wild. So it would be, the roots are kind of wiry and probably a little bit difficult to get to root if you could access that. Of course, you don't want to access it irresponsibly, but many nurseries cultivate it because it's a very useful plant for landscaping, for naturalizing an area. Salal is very commonly found from southeastern Alaska all the way to northern and down into even central California along the coast. So mainly on the west side of the Cascades or the California mountains. If you encounter a big area of Salal and you need to cross through it, you will find that it can be hard going just because the nature of the stems. They're pretty woody. There's no thorns, but it just trips you up, catches onto your feet and your shoes. Well, it's too bad we can't find any berries on this Salal at this time of year. I think it's a little bit too late. But we certainly could see those berries on the wintergreen. Beautiful, and they're gonna last all through the winter and just look really adorable. Both plants are very useful in a landscape situation. They love an acid soil. So if you are naturalizing here in the Pacific Northwest, consider Salal for sure. But you could also bring in our neighbor from the other shore, from the East Coast, the wintergreen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can find some in your area, at least the Salal growing native, and then perhaps the wintergreen at a nursery. So fun to see, especially around the holiday time. Well, there's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.